Okay, in this one, I want to share how we can create our own bootable USB media drive for Zorin OS Core. And I'm going to go ahead and open the Firefox browser. And in the search bar here, I'm just going to go ahead and type in Zorin OS. And this first option here, zorin.com. This is the home page here. And of course, if we're ready to download, we can just select the download button here. However, if you want to check system requirements, select help. Come down to system requirements, and we can see here for CPU, we need a 1 GHz dual core processor, Intel or AMD 64-bit. For RAM, we need at least 2 GB of RAM. For storage, we need 15 GB for core, 32 GB for education, and 40 GB for pro. We see display is 800 by 600. And let's go ahead and go back to homepage here. We can select download. And right here, we have Zorin OS 18 Pro. This is a paid option. You do get additional features and tools, and of course you're supporting developers, which is awesome. Right here we have Zorin OS 18 Core and Zorin OS 18 Education. Biggest difference between the two, Education comes with some pre-installed education applications, which you can still install on the Core option. And if you want Zorin OS Lite, we can go ahead and scroll to the bottom here, and you can click this to install or download Zorin OS Lite. So I'm going to go ahead and come back. I'm going to go up to Zorin OS 18 Core, and I'm going to select download. I'm going to skip, and that'll bring us to Zorin OS 18 Core ISO file downloading there. Now this may take a moment or two. And while we're waiting on that, another thing that we're going to need is going to be Rufus. So we can type in rufus.ie. And that'll bring us here. If we scroll down, this is what the tool is going to look like, or the interface. And these are the download options. So this is the latest release, which is Rufus 4.11. And we do see we have a Windows 64-bit standard option here, portable option for 64-bit, a standard 32-bit option, and the ARM processor option as well. So I'm going to go ahead and select the Rufus for Windows 64-bit, and that did already download here, and I do believe we're still waiting on Zorin OS 18 Core to finish up. Yes, so we're just going to go ahead and wait for that to complete, and once that's complete, we can go ahead and start building our USB media drive. Now while we're waiting, I just want to notate you definitely will need a blank USB drive, or at least a USB drive that has no important data on it, because once we go ahead and set that up to create our bootable media drive, it's going to delete all the data on that drive that is currently there. And it looks like we're almost complete here. But while we're waiting, what I'm going to do is I'm going to minimize this and open up the File Explorer, select Downloads, and right here we do have the Rufus tool. So I'm going to double click that. And do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? I'm good with it. We're going to go ahead and hit yes and minimize this option here. And we can see this is our tool, or the interface of our tool. And if we want a quick selection icon on the desktop, we can open the File Explorer again. Let's bring this down here a bit, and I can just drag this right out of the downloads folder onto the desktop. And there we go. I have a quick access icon for Rufus on my desktop. I'm going to go back to Mozilla, close out of this, and we are almost complete with the Zorin OS ISO download. Boom, there we go. So let's go ahead and close this out. Open up our File Explorer, go back into downloads, and there we go. We have Zorin OS 18 Core ISO file. And now what I need to do is connect my blank USB drive. And give me just a moment while I fidget with that. There we go. We can see new volume, no data inside. Click X, and I'm going to go ahead and select Rufus. Select yes. It does auto select the drive for you. So if you have multiple drives connected, go ahead and drop that down and then make your alternative selection. Right here, we're going to create a disk or ISO image. I'm going to go to select. We're in the downloads option. Click Zorin OS 18 Core. Hit open. And for me, I'm going to go ahead and select GPT instead of MBR. MBR is a legacy setup. GPT is the modern. We have UEFI, non-CSM. And right here, we have the volume label. I usually let that go by default. So Zorin OS 18 core 64-bit, that's good for me. It's gonna set it up as a FAT32, cluster size is 16 kilobytes, and hit start. Right here, it's just letting us know that we can do an ISO or disk. We're gonna go ahead and do an ISO image on a USB, hit OK, and it's just giving us a warning that all data on this drive currently is gonna be destroyed. So like I said, use a blank USB drive or one that you don't have important data on, and then select OK. Give it just a minute here. And there we go. It's gonna go ahead and flash that drive for us and get everything set up, copying the ISO files over. And we're just gonna go ahead and let that run. And through the power of editing, I'll speed this up and then come back when it's close to the end. Okay, we're back and we can see we are roughly at about 97% at the installation process for copying ISO files. And we're gonna bear through this here. Boom. Now it says it's ready to go, so we can close this here. And then I'm gonna open up my File Explorer again. We have Zorin OS 18 right here, and I'm gonna right click, eject. That way we can safely remove this drive. And now we have a Zorin OS bootable media drive. And that's gonna be it for this one.